Welcome back to Grand Chess Tour Superbet Poland Trapit and Blitz. Let's take a look at the game played between Wei Yi, who recently returned to chess, and young talent Nodirbek Abdusatorov, who is currently in top 10 in the world, one of the best players in the world right now. So Wei Yi starts with bishop opening. You know, bishop c4 and second move d3, and now he's playing a very interesting system. But now look, it looks like the bishop is going to be taken. I mean, Wei Yi doesn't really care. He plays queen f3, and after knight c4 takes, it seems like, alright, black have a bishop pair, but you need to understand that here white have a bit more space due to the c4 pawn and pawn on d5, on e4, you know, square on d5, you know, potential bishop g5, takes knight d5, and those knights won't be very bad compared to those bishops. Knight e2, h3, and look, and now knight g3, and this knight is going to f5. And look, another thing is, Wei Yi doesn't castle short yet. I mean, he will on the next move, but he's kind of preparing and make sure, you know, he maybe scares Nodirbek a little bit. Maybe he can go b3, you know, bishop b2 and then castle long and then try to go for c5 and then try to go for kingside attack. Instead, alright, c6 is played, castle, bishop e6, b3, and according to computer here, you know, plus 0.5 is actually a good advantage for white pieces. Queen d7 was played, a4, taking even more space on queen side now, rook a8, rook d1, pinning this pawn on d6, queen c8, queen goes to c file, bishop e3, attacking pawn on a7 now, a6, and now a5 with bishop b6 idea. And at this point it already looked like that Wei Yi has, you know, taken the whole space on the board, and now it's just pressing Nodirbek slowly. Knight rook d7, rook d3, and now he goes for knight f5 sacrifice. So again, you know, here it's actually very hard to understand what's the plan for white, because look, the pawn on d6 is like heavily protected. You know, f5 might be played by black pieces, and at some point, you know, some counterattacks here. Queen is kind of looking towards h3 square and potential bishop sacrifice. So according to computer, queen e2 and knight g7 what should have been played, but knight f5 is a very interesting idea. But it turns out that actually after simple bishop f5, black would have no problems, because after queen f5 there is knight g7, let's say rook g3. Okay, I understand Nodirbek, because he was scared of this. Look, because queen is too far, it's on c8, this rook can move to c7 and d8, therefore meaning this queen can't really go and defend the king. But after king h8 it turns out that black's king doesn't need any defense, because now let's say queen g4, rook g8, and white can't attack anything. So the best move according to computer would have been rook g7, king g7, rook d1 with this idea. But here simple f6 solves all the problem. Let's say rook d3 or something, and there is like rook c7 sacrifice back, and now king h8, and there is absolutely nothing for white pieces. But after e takes f5, Nodirbek plays king h8. He was scared of all of this. And now after takes, queen e2, I mean, it turns out that black's position is simply lost. Rook d1, queen e8, knight e4, d5, knight c5, takes, rook f5, rook e3, threatening this pawn e5, e4, f3, and now as soon as this file opens up, it will be a disaster. Takes, b4, takes, e5, and again plays rook e3 to attack pawn on e5. This bishop controls everything, this knight is not doing a lot of work, but potentially no, knight e6, knight f4, yeah, knight e6 here walks into rook e5, queen d5, and here absolutely brilliant g4, and it turns out there is no way to protect this pawn, because after rook g5 there is bishop e7 attacking this rook, I mean, now queen and rook to protect e5, but after rook g6, rook e5, the pawn was on e5 was no longer protected by both of them. So Wei Yi takes, queen d4, king h1, h6, bishop c5, queen d7. So here again the position is completely winning, but you know the king on h1 is actually, you know, kind of shaky, and Nodirbek was still trying to create threats, but as long as Wei Yi doesn't make any mistake, he should win. Queen c4, rook f6, you know, queen c4 is a very greedy move. You know, now rook f6, you know, looks scary, but no checks, queen d3, queen c4, they repeated the moves, because look, Wei Yi, oh, you can't see the time, but here he had 20 seconds on the clock. That was insane. King g8, rook e4, rook e6, queen c4, knight e6, c3, you know, making sure that bishop on d4 is stable, rook d5, king g2, h5, queen e2, takes, rook d4, and here, with 2 seconds left, he plays rook d4, and after queen d4, with 1 second left, g takes h5 was played. And Nodirbek blundered here. He should have tried to, you know, keep the queens on the board, but he played queen b4. And it turns out that after simple queen g4 check, queens are traded off the boards. But you will say, alright, 3 pawns versus 3 pawns, isn't it a draw? No, guys. At this point, look, it's 2 passed pawns, and those pawns are not moving here anywhere, because look at this a5. a5 pawn is an absolute monster. It stops everything for black. And as soon as they go, let's say c5, you know, just king f3. We don't care, because let's say king can't even take pawn on g4, because then basically h6, h7, h8 and white wins the game. So what happened on the board was king f7 was played, and after g5, Nodirbek resigned, Wei Yi won the game, and it's actually very cool to see the strong grandmaster returning into chess, because I remember I was like maybe 15, 16 years old, he was, you know, everywhere, you know, very young talent. Then he just disappeared for a while. Now he's back into chess again. He won Tata Steel tournament in the beginning of the year, and now he's continuing with great results. And after 3 days of rapid, he is #1, with Magnus being second, only trailing 1 point. And we will have a fun weekend of Blitz. 18 rounds, you don't want to miss that. That's gonna be very interesting. As you're watching this video, they already started moving pieces, having fun, fireworks on the board. That's so cool to see. But for now, guys, let me know in the comments what do you think of Wei Yi, what do you think of this game, of this tournament. Do you even watch it? Because I'm not sure, you know, maybe because Magnus is playing you watch, but alright guys, I'll see you in the next recap, and enjoy, bye bye.